Need to check my live stream, guys. So I just need the link. I just need to check if this is actually working. Oh yes, it is. Okay, guys, I cannot see anything of if you're writing right now. I'm just gonna, as always, send the link out to my wonderful community. Mark is going to have, he's on the lunch or dinner, so we just might see Wesley being. Okay, hi guys, how are you? Sorry, no, I can see you. I can see everyone right now. Hello. How are you? How are you? Oops. Hey Mandar, hi. Gringo, Alexander is here. Thank you. Hello. How are you? Welcome to this live stream. It's 9 o'clock. Hey Wesley. Hello Wesley. It's 9 o'clock in the night. Hi Moom. Hi. Please give us from South Africa. Oh yes, of course. How are you guys? Okay, we're. Hi Andrew, how are you? Just gonna look at Bitcoin. What happened? Well, we are going up. Pretty good. This was actually something that I did expect in the beginning of the week. Hello AC, how are you? I did expect the market to continue up. Oh, it's a big day. Why? Did I miss something? What happened? Okay, so I typed Nilfisk to clean my old Fibonacci. Mark, I thought you were supposed to go and eat. What happened? It's 2:30 here in India. Oh. It is? Okay, we're looking at Bitcoin right now, guys, and we are having the momentum. So these three candles right here, there was no wonder why the market went up. I think they're called, what are they called? They're called so much as three black, I think they're called like that. Three black something. What are they called, guys? Hi, Joan. How are you? Dubs is here. Soldiers. Exactly. Guys. We're getting rich. Yes. Soldiers. Is it Kraus? Is it Kraus? Are you kidding me? I mean, I know all about these candlesticks, but the name of it, it's too many names. But this doesn't look good. It looks like it's on its way down. Maybe it is. Yeah, is they're supposed to look like that? Is it Black House? Three black crowds. Yeah, when they're going down, the market is going up. That's what I was taught in the beginning, but this doesn't look whatever. So, but we did have these three candlesticks to the downside. And hi, beautiful. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Your stream quality sucks. Why? Why does it suck? What's the problem with it? Because if I'm looking at it, it actually looks good. Yeah, please give me feedback. Don't just say it sucks. Please give me that right away so I can try to fix it. The picture. Well, you're supposed to look at the charts, Tobias. So if the picture is not that good, well, sorry. Go to setting and change it because it looks good. Okay, well, blurry. Looks fine. Everyone thinks, okay, sorry Tobias, but just focus on the charts. Hi all. 3 black cards typically means uptrend is ending, but its 3 candle patterns typically present a reversal wave. Yeah, exactly. Maybe refresh the page. Okay, thanks. If that makes sense. I'm only looking at net resistance. Oh my god, guys, you're crazy. Okay, we're looking at Bitcoin one more time. Okay, so everything's checked, everything's good, music is not too loud. Okay, so market did have a huge bullish candlestick to the upside, and no wonder, because on the daily we did have 3 candlestick, 1, 2, 3 candlestick that came back down to the support. And sometimes it's pretty hard seeing this as a support because you're not looking at these candlesticks right here on the daily. But if we're going to the 4-hour chart, you can see that this is a perfect support. That laugh thought of word it. Yeah, so we came back down. Let's see when this happened. Always good to go through why the market has been moving the way it has, and after that we just looking at what potentially could happen after that. Hey Ahmad, how are you? Okay, so we did come back down to, on the 1st of November. It was yesterday. So yesterday's candle, yeah, and you had the wick right there. Looking at that candle, that was also in the 1st of November. Then this was the morning, yeah, exactly. So this was a good sign. So you did have an engulfing candle. So market, first of all, market had a small downtrend right here. Market came back down to 60,100 or 60,000. We did close with a huge bearish candlestick. So at that point, I mean, it's pretty hard doing certain things. Is when you're having a huge bearish candlestick like this against the support, it's definitely worth waiting because you don't know if the market actually will continue further back down. But after that candlestick, we did have this huge bullish candlestick engulfing a lot of candles, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, it engulfed a lot of candles. Market came back down and retested and did close above. So this is always what I'm talking about when we want the second leg. So you have the first leg right here. Market comes up, market comes back down again. But this time the market is closing above the first leg right here. So it's really, really important looking at these, looking at how the market is moving. And you also have you have 3 wicks right here, 2 wicks, and after that you did have an inverted hammer right here. I would call it an inverted hammer. We could go back down to the lower time frames just to see how the entry would look, and that was the 4-hour. Just gonna do it like this so I see what I'm looking at, like that. I mean, it was pretty tight right here, but we're going down. Yeah, so at the lower time frames, at the 30 minutes, you saw the market coming back down, and after that you could start to see market doing higher lows right here. So for the market to break to the upside was no, I mean, it actually showed us pretty good that it was supposed to go up. So that was a good, it was actually a very good entry right here. And then we came back up to, and this is where we are right now. We are coming up to, or we are at previous resistance at 63,700, 800. And the market right now is retesting. So this is also something that usually happens when we're coming to previous resistance and we're coming back down a little bit. So we have the fake out right here. Market comes back down and it retested from underneath, and then market comes back down again. So what we could wait for right now on Bitcoin, and as always we use the fib from, I use it from 60,900 to the highest point at 64,123. It doesn't have to come back down here, but it's not that far away, and it also combined with this previous high that we're having around 62,600. So my targets on Fibonacci is the 61 and 50%, and that is 62,160 and 62,523. And then market comes back down, and after that we just might see the market having the strength to break these 1-2 highs one more time. I'm really confused how you choose how to enter this trade. What trade? Which one of them? The one I just explained how you did that. You were going down to the lower time frames at the 4-hour chart. You saw market coming back down to a support, a strong support. Then market came back up again. You had first the engulfing candle. Market came back down. It never surpassed. It never surpassed this low right here. You have the fake out, and when you're having a fake out, the market will continue to the upside. Usually, most of the time. So as long as I'm having a bullish candle, a second leg closing above this first leg right here, and if you would use the candlestick patterns on the 4-hour chart, you had an inverted hammer right here. So that is a pattern that you can use to see if the market is breaking to the upside or not. Looking at these lower time frames right here, I could have taken a Fibonacci, and with the Fibonacci on the 30 minutes, I saw the market coming back down 2 times. Exactly, yeah. You could have done it in different ways. Either you could have broken everything down to the lower time frames, or if you would have been looking at the 4-hour candle, at this candle right here, I would have entered. The thing I would have entered, depending on when I was looking at the market, but I always go down to the lower time frames. But if you're only looking at the 4-hour chart, this is definitely a good sign for me to go long. I want to know your way. Well, joking. Okay, someone wanted me to look at Solana. I actually did something with Solana. I did have I had something on Twitter. We did have something on Twitter on Solana. I have contact from NJC, always screens by now at the top. That's Wesley. Okay, we're looking at Solana, and we did have, looking at the daily, this is very important. If we see the market coming back down, we can use these two. This is a double bottom right here. You have the neckline. We have already been coming back down to the neckline and retested it. And but it could definitely come back down again, but we do right now. This could also be the fake out, guys, that we are seeing right now on Solana. So it's we just have another 4-hour candle opened. As long this could happen, so we tried to break this resistance at 211 around that area before. And we did have the market having a bullish candlestick closing above the resistance. Going back in time, we did have this wick right here. I don't know if this is the all-time high, but it looks like that on Solana. It has to be. And we did have the market. Hi Natalie, how are you? I'm just trading the last falling wedge on Bitcoin at... I live a nice comment on the last post before Fibonacci working out great during him. Yeah, I know, Stuart. I read it and I comment back, and I'm very happy for that it goes very good for you. I'm very, very happy for you. I'm happy I can help. So thank you everyone for commenting and giving me feedback, just so I know that it's actually working and that you're understanding what I'm talking about. Okay, so we did have the first fake out right here around 25th of October. And right now, as long as we're not having the same scenario right here, but we can do something like this. We can just, you know, try to understand what happened the last time, and we can see if we're having the same scenario right now. So we're just gonna do it like this so we can understand what happened. So I'm having the circles just so we can see what's going on. If we're looking at what happened on the 25th of October, we did have these two candlesticks right here. You look at this bearish candlestick to the downside. You're having the same thing happening right here. So we don't have to wait for the 4 hour to close, but it's 39 minutes for this 1 hour candle to close. So a lot of things can happen, but as long as we're not having the same scenario that we did right here. So if you see the market coming back down and starts to retest it just the way it did with huge wicks to the upside, and then the market just might come back down again. And the target for, if the market is now doing this, we're taking from the 1 hour, no, 4, maybe 2 hour chart. As we just have to wait and see if the market will close with a bearish candlestick. And yeah, so if the market comes back down, the first target for me to see the pullback is around 207 and 209. I am in Solana at 202. Should I take profit? I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but what I would do, because remember, I'm no financial advisor, but what I would do, I would definitely not, I would not take myself out yet, because it doesn't have to be a fake out. The market just, if you see the market coming back down, I would not freak out, because if the market is now doing a pullback, it can just come back down a little bit and retest this resistance that we're having around these targets right here. So around 213 and 210. So I wouldn't do anything. I don't know where you have your target, but looking at this candlestick right now on the daily and on the 4 hour, no, it actually looks pretty good. It doesn't have to come back down. But if we're going back, yeah, no, I mean, it looks good. What could happen is that if we're taking the high from the fake out that we did have before, market could definitely come to that level first, and then you see the market coming back down. Because remember, guys, when it comes to a certain level or a previous support or resistance, the market always tends to come back down a little bit after that. Hey Nat, do you use indicators? No, I do not use indicators. The only thing that I'm using, if you want to call it an indicator, is Fibonacci. Otherwise, I always use market structure and price action, and that is the only thing that I'm doing. Patience is the key. Fibonacci is her hand. Just learn, be patient, and we all know how to do it. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. So on Solana, I mean, yeah, you can come back down and retest this previous high at 209. But as long as the thing that I would do, just look at, so it doesn't look something like this. If you're having on the 4 hour chart a huge bearish candlestick to the downside, and closing underneath, looking something, just looking like that, just like that, I could definitely see the market coming back down. And you can see that market has been going sideways inside of 212 and 177. So market can come back down again and then see the market coming back up. But definitely look at this candle, how it closes. It takes some time, but I wouldn't do anything right now. Mandar want me to look at AVAX. We're changing the color to gray. Let's see what happened here. You use Fibonacci? Yeah, Mark, you didn't know that? Do I? Do you use Fibonacci? I don't think I've said a word that much since I started live streaming. Only thing that I can hear myself say is Fibonacci here and there. Okay, AVAX, we are looking at this high that we're having at 70 right here. A lot. Yes. Natalie, what are the best times to trade? Would you say between? I think the best time, and that is just for myself, what I've seen through the last couple of months and years also, but definitely I would say going up before London session starts. I would I like to analyze the market before London session opens, because the market hasn't made their move yet, and Asia is just giving you sometimes very good opportunities at the end of Asia and the lap to London. So when I'm having my entries at before London, because as you know guys, when London session opens, it's a lot of things that usually happens during London and New York session, and I like to be in, if the market gives me opportunities to go into a trade, I like to do that. But I use a lot of limit orders, a limit and buy limit and sell limit orders. So when I'm taking it from Asia session, it usually get triggered at London session. And then when New York session comes, you have because New York session is moving so much. So sometimes, if I find let's say whatever time frame this is. So let's say London session is right here, and these are 1 hour candlesticks. So when the market starts to have its pullbacks on New York session or just starts to freak out, I can see that I have my entry down here, so I don't have to worry about what's going on around here. So when you're having your entry on New York session and the market starts to have a lot of volatility, it's very easy for the market to come back down or up to your entry one more time. So I would say I love to analyze the market before London session opens to find my entries, and during London or New York session, depending on what the market is doing, it triggers my entries at those sessions. It was a long answer, but that's how I do it. But as long as the market is giving you something, it doesn't matter. But I don't like to trade when the market is very volatile during New York session or London session. I just don't go in a execution market right away. It depends, of course, how the market is looking, but what session are we in right now? This is like a dead session. Is it Sydney or something right now? The only ones that I'm focusing right on is Asia, London, and New York. No, New York did close for a couple of hours ago. Morning session. So if you don't know about the sessions or not thinking about them, and when the market is starting to move the way it does and you get surprised, yeah, exactly, it's dead session right now. The market is moving a lot because it's going in between London and New York. There's a lot of things happening in between those sessions. What times are they? She mentioned at 8 o'clock in every time. Yeah, so London session opens at 9 o'clock here in Sweden, but I have London session, London UTC right here on my trading view. So I'm going after London, and they open 1 hour before me. So usually what I do is that I go up pretty early in the morning to see how it looks, and I'm analyzing the market, and after that, you know. Can you use this to check? What? I don't know. Okay, so AVAC. So sorry for the person that I was sorry, I started talking about London sessions. Okay, so we're having the high right here on the weekly chart, and we already have a wick to the upside. Never had the power to break it on the weekly. That was last week. So we just might see the market coming up to 70 again, 7.90, around that area. If we're not breaking that level, so this is also something that, as long as we're not having the fake out coming back in, retested from underneath, comes back down, usually something like that happens. And the target that I'm using for the market to come back down to is definitely this support right here at 61.38. Let's see on the daily. I mean, if we're looking at like this, we could also have a inverted head and shoulder, and we're having the neckline here at the resistance. But as long as we're not seeing the market having trouble breaking it or the fake out, but if we're breaking this level at 69, around 69.70, you see the market break it, continuation to the upside. She meant between 7 to 8 in the morning, London, US, Asia. Is that time you start checking? 7 to 8 is a rush hour here during that time, so I look in the charts at those times low. So I go up before London session. I go up like 1 or 2 hours before London session opens, and I start to analyze the market. But this is what I see on AVAX right now. Going down to the lower time frames, we're not so far away from this resistance right here, so that is why I would wait for the market to come up to that level. Remember, guys, you don't always have to trade. You have to wait for the market to come to you. Yes, guys, please go inside and like this video. I know it's pretty late, but please go inside, like this video, make people be able to see that we're what we are doing, and educate people on how to see the market as easy as possible. So please, guys, go inside and like this video and subscribe also if you want to see and have the notifications when I'm going live or having my regular daily updates about cryptocurrencies. Okay, we're looking at Ethereum, and I still have this these drawings since before. And there's no reason for me to change it. We came back down, and we did touch the higher low, and this is so wonderful. This is so wonderful seeing what you actually was thinking about, and the market came back down to the level, and right now we are heading up to our next high. And we can come back down, and we did break this last high at 4,400. So we're taking Fibonacci one more time from 4,328 to the highest point 4,500. So we are waiting right now for the pullback to come back to happen. So we're having the high right here. So we need to have the market correct itself. We need the pullback to find the strength to then continue, because remember, guys, market always goes upside down, sideways, and when we're having a higher high, we do not ever go inside and trade at the high, because if you're having your buy order at the high, the market retraces back, you're having the panic, you are in drawdown, and you will, most of the cases, you will have your stop loss taking, you get angry, and we have to learn from that. This is why we're using the Fibonacci. And you're always going to hear me say Fibonacci, because this is a great tool, and I think you can actually see it by now that Fibonacci is a very, very great tool. You don't always use Fibonacci. You have to look at what happens around, like with market structure, how does the candlestick look against them, etc. But the first thing that we're using right now is to see where the pullback can end, and that is why we're having the 1561%, and that is between 4,424 and 4,395. Could also come back down and retest this high at 4,372. As long as we're seeing the market giving us dojis or reversal patterns, candlestick, engulfing candles, you name it, whatever you want to call it, a reversal pattern against these level, a bullish reversal pattern, and then you see market continue to the upside again. Fibonacci is wonderful. It's amazing, but you have to use it the right way. It depends on where you're having your levels and how you're looking at. I mean, sometimes the Fibonacci is not even accurate, but it depends on how you do it. And this is something that's really good, guys. So if you have not been looking out Bitcoinsensus community or website, I'm sorry, it's like very, very great website. So if you want to see updates on cryptocurrencies, and we do not have me or Andy doing our live streams or have regular video updates, we also have, this has happened 1 minute ago, someone in our team updated on the 1 hour chart on Bitcoin. So you can go inside to this to Bitcoinsensus.com, and you'll have previous news. You always have updates on cryptocurrencies. Can you see 2 days ago this happened, 3 days ago? We always have new updates, guys. So, and this is very good to look at and just learn from it. It's really good. You have more things right here. You have about us, you have altcoins, bitcoins, you have guides, you have everything on this website, and everything, guys, everything is for free. And you have exchange reviews, guides, how to buy Bitcoin, how to trade Bitcoin, how to short Bitcoin, Bitcoin 101. You have everything. You have the tutorials about the exchange that we're having. You have the Bybit right now, and you have the tutorial with Andy. If you're scrolling back down, you can also see, you can also read about Bybit. It's great. Going back down, where is it? Where is it? Exactly. You can see right here that we right now, guys, we have up to $3,500 in bonus on Bybit if you're clicking at start trading it here right now. So you just go into Bybit through our link. I also have the link in the description down below. You just write it in your email, and you'll have your code sent to your email. So, and if this is the first time you're using Bybit, look at Andy when he's explaining the whole page. Okay, we're going back to Ethereum. Natalie, my little sister heard your voice, and she's saying, "What's Fibonacci?" Fibonacci is your future. You can tell her that. It's your future, baby girl. Change your channel name to Miss Fibonacci. I would do that, her nickname. Why don't you pull the fib from that support line? Wesley, it's very hard explaining why sometimes. Why I'm using, when I'm using Fibonacci, I use it from the lowest point, the previous lowest point to the highest point. But you know, guys, it's very hard because sometimes I can even use it from this support, from this low, last low. So it's kind of tricky. You just have to get used to how to use it. But the easiest way I can explain is that I'm using it from the previous low to the high that we're having right now. So I'm never using support or resistance zones. I never do that when I'm placing my Fibonacci. If I could, I would smash that like button a million times. Thank you so much. It's the future for sure. I invest a lot, but can watch. But can watch LT all day. That's great. So on Ethereum, guys. Sorry, I was starting to talk about something else. Coming back down to this previous high, definitely something that we can do if you're just having a quick pullback at 4,450. The long-term target that I'm having, so this is definitely the newest high that we're having, but I could definitely see market coming up to 4,839 soon. Growth fiat on a 2-hour timeline. Lol, what do you mean with that? Grew the fiat. Your hair looks pretty. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. On the daily. Yeah, on the daily, we're gonna close the dailies in 3 hours and 18 minutes. If we're having the market closing above this previous high that we're having, just wait to see if the market comes back down and touch this area. I'm taking Fibonacci again just to see. Yeah, so it's pretty, I mean, it looks pretty good. If the market can come back down and break these levels just a little bit, and then you see the market coming up. So if the market breaks the levels, don't worry about that. Just look at the candlestick. You just might have the fake out. You have the second leg. Remember, guys, the second leg is the one we're looking for. Market comes back down, comes back up again. As long as we're having the first leg and the second leg is the one I am buying at. As long as we're closing above the first leg and I'm having dojis, engulfing candles, and I see the market will not continue back down. And even if the market continues back down, that is okay. I mean, it's okay. You're not supposed to have, you're not going to be right all the time. But as long as you're following your system, and if you're having a system working more than 50% of the time, you're good to go. Okay, someone wanted me to look at LRC. Okay, huge candlesticks to the upside. Okay, so we're the only thing that I do right now, I'm taking Fibonacci from 9468 to the highest point at 1.5305. The pullback can come back down to that level, and that is around 1.1694 and 1.2400. Hey Anna, how are you? I'm very good. How are you? I'm happy to see you. Yes, Davor, I will look at it after this one. So that is the first target I'm having on LRC. Can come back down to this previous support resistance also at 1.0270. We can also go down to the lower time frames. Usually the market, I mean, we don't always have to wait for the higher time frames, guys. Can also come back down to 1.13996. But we do have the pullback right now because we can see the market doing lower highs right here. You had the high, you have the lower high, you have the second lower high right here. if you see the market breaking this support, you just can see it looks something like this. But as long as I'm having the Fibonacci in my mind to see the market actually can come to this level. So that's what I see. Devor wanted me to look at CELR. I'm holding my phone. Yeah, you do that. Okay, we're looking at the higher time frames as always. Okay, so this is a market that actually goes down. So usually all of the pairs are going the same way, but this is actually one that's having its own way of life, it seems. But you are on a 15-minute timeline. What? I don't know if you're talking with me. Love the relaxing music. Yeah, I wish I could hear it, but I can't. But it's a lovely. It was actually Andy who gave it to me, so all the thanks to Andy. Okay, we're having the. Maybe we could look at some. Oh yeah, this one was so much better. Yeah, so I've already been here and analyzing the market. It must have been since last time I was on this live, had a live stream. Just want to see where I'm having my. Oh yeah, so it looks kind of good. So guys, look at this. So the market I did take, this was a couple of days ago, so I did not do this right now. So I took the Fibonacci from 04296 to the highest point at 16804, and we're looking at this Fibonacci level, and we are right now heading back down to it. And now we're looking at the weekly, obviously. Looking at the daily, we are making lower lows and lower highs. Market could definitely do something like this now that it comes back up to retest the support, make a resistance, and then we're coming back down to the Fibonacci levels around 09098 and 10615. If market comes back down to Fibonacci level, you are also retesting a previous high at at the same level that the 61% is on the Fibonacci. When the market comes to the Fibonacci, usually just go sideways for a while. Usually the market doesn't just come back down and then it goes straight up. No, it's not. Not most of the time, and definitely not when you're having it on the higher time frames. Market comes back down, start to consolidate, move sideways, and then you see market slowly breaking to the upside. So when we're coming to this level, and you start to see the market tries to break it, but it comes back up again, that is because we are inside of the Fibonacci. So I would definitely wait for the market to come back down to that to the Fibonacci on the weekly, but we're on the lower. We can go down to the lower time frames. We're taking a Fibonacci from 12954 to the highest point, and that is to the lowest point. It's the opposite now when we're having the downtrend, 11625, and we see the market having the fake out right here. On the Fibonacci, comes back down. So if market comes back down a little bit more, comes back up, create the second leg. Remember now, guys, we are in a downtrend. So you have the first leg right here, the fake out, because the market tried to break it, came inside of the Fibonacci one more time and closed inside of it. And we're having we start to have another bullish and bearish candlestick to the downside. Seems like we're going to break in. If the market then comes back inside to the Fibonacci and retest it, as long as they're closing below the first leg. So it's just the opposite right now, when we're having a sell opportunity instead of a long position. Comebacks up here could look something like this. You have the first leg right here. You have the second leg right here. You have dojis. You have wicks to the upside telling you, hey, we're not continuing back down. Guys, this is perfect. And this is the same thing that I want the market to do right here. It might set a higher low and move up. Well, well, Wesley. Sorry, but you're actually the last one I'm gonna listen to. Sorry. Bitcoin retracing back down, okay, but that was actually something that I did expect. Yeah, it looks healthy. The market has to do that because we came back up to a resistance. Market did also do the fake. I mean, I want to call it a fake out all the time because the market, it seemed like we were going up. Market came back down. Looks like White Russian. What? Can you see, guys? This is also something that I love to see. And actually, I've learned so much just by doing all these live streams together with you, because you can see the market doing the same thing over and over again. And I remember one of my friends. His name is Ralph. He's a very good trader, and I respect him so much. He's such a good man. He actually taught me a couple of months ago. And we were just talking with each other, and he told me, Natalie, when you're having the market, so this is, guys, you have to look at this. So when you're having the market coming to a support level right here, market goes back down, you have the pullback. So we are in a uptrend, but this is the pullback. So when we're looking for the entry, we have to let the market break the support, give you the fake out, and then you see the market closing. This is the only thing that I'm talking about when we're having the fake out, because the market is always, not always, but most of the time, the first time the market tries to fool people, it tries to take people out. They want to trap you looking like we are continuing down, and most of the retail traders are selling when we're coming to that level, not understanding that this is the pullback that we're having on the uptrend. Let the pullback end, have the fake out, let the market fool people out. Market comes back up inside. And at this point, a lot of people get freaked out because, oh my God, market is going up. So they start to buy the market at this level right here. Market pulls back down. You get freaked out. You don't understand what's happening. Oh, it said it was supposed to go down. It didn't. Now it comes back up. You don't understand that you're buying at the highest point. Let the market come back down and do the second touch, the second leg. Don't ever try to sell or buy at the fake out. Let the market move, come up, comes back down, and that's the entry that you're having. If you're going long, you shouldn't use such short time frames. What are you talking about? Do you go off the 1 hour chart? If you're going long, you shouldn't use such short time frames. Rudy Fiat. I mean, everyone does different. I'm not gonna tell what anyone should do or what time frame you should not or not use. You could definitely go back down to the 3 minutes chart and find your entry. Everything depends on how you see the market. Also, you would look volume RSI. Well, Grody and Grudy, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm showing you guys what I do, and whatever you want to do, you do that. But this is how I trade. I never used indicators, and guys, I will never do that either. That is just how I trade. This is the same thing, just the way I explain it. You have the fake out, market comes back down, comes back up, goes back down. It's the same thing happening all the time. So I'm never gonna give you. I mean, you're not supposed to know everything about trading. You should only know what works for you. Find a system. See if the system is working. If it's working, why should you confuse yourself with hundreds of billions of other things? Why would you do that? Find a system that works and you trade off of that. Trading becomes boring at some point because you're just looking at the same thing over and over again. How do we read indicators, Anna? Depends on what indicator you're using. How can you see bullish and bearish? Guys, remember, I always talk about this, guys. Candlestick is the language of forex trading. Candlestick market structure, that is the base of forex trading, or in whatever chart you're looking at. This is what you should understand. No indicator will tell you more than what the core of what actually builds up forex trading. This is trading. This is the chart. This is what we're looking at. It gives you, it's like letters. It always tells you what it's doing. You just have to figure everything out yourself. I'm not gonna tell that indicators are bad if you know how to use them and it works. I mean, that is good. Same thing, find a system that works for you. Doesn't have to work for me. My system doesn't have to work for you. I mean, it depends on how you see the market, on what time frames. Everyone's different. So I'm never gonna tell you guys that my way is the best way. This is just how I see the market, and I'm trying to explain it to you. I look at chart, I do not know what I'm looking at. That's why you have to practice it. I mean, you're not even supposed, trading is hard. Trading is really hard. I mean, I've been sitting at these charts every single day since 2018. So telling someone that trading is easy, I mean, everyone here knows that is a big fat lie. Everyone knows trading is hard. But if you wanna master it, you have to practice it. I'm really excited, even though I lost a bit of money learning, but I'm getting grips with it now with your and help. I want to do this full time, so I'm doing this 10 hours a day learning. Yeah, I mean, this is so good that you have to have that mentality. You have to understand that it's gonna take some time. You will always lose money, and especially in the beginning. Especially in the beginning, it's really hard. And it's hard. That's why you need all the tools and info available. You do what you're supposed to do. So some things works for you, something works for another person. So what works for you, I will never tell you guys that you should only do what I do. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. This is my way of seeing the market. I'm never gonna tell you you should do this, you should do that, and I don't want anyone else telling me that either. I'm I'm like this when it comes to certain things. I don't need to do nothing. I see the market the way I do, and I've been practicing it. And if you don't like it, just do what's best for you. Okay, we're looking at BNB right now. We're having the market. We did actually break this resistance at 503. And then that is on the weekly. So it's a strong level right here. We can see going back in time, this is a support, this is a resistance, and a... Oh. So market could come back down. We're having the market doing small, okay, this is the daily. We're going back down to the 4-hour chart. I don't know anything about crypto. All I have is BTC wallet from Cash App. Oh, it's confusing me. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Of course, you can always learn more. I'm not gonna tell you that, but it's always, you will never understand trading 100%. And if you definitely want to use other things, and you could definitely do that. I'm not gonna say don't. I mean, there's a lot of things actually that I'm gonna do right now to see the market in a whole other way also. Fibonacci used for recognition of patterns and mark with the patterns. It doesn't tell you the future. No, you don't know the future. You will never know the future. Only opportunities. I don't know anything about crypto. All I have is BTC wallet and Cash App. It's confusing me. So it doesn't matter what type of, if you're trading forex, if you're trading index, if you're trading Bitcoin, you just, I mean, you have candlestick, you have market structure. You just have to understand how the pair you are trading, how it moves. So that is why you have to back test it. Okay, guys, so looking at 504 is definitely a target for the market to pull back down to, but that is on the daily. If we're looking at the higher time frames, I'm using the Fibonacci from 514 to 551, and I can also drag it up to where we are right now, but we're having a bearish candlestick, but it hasn't closed yet, so it can come back up. This is a target that I'm using to see if the market comes back down, and that is around 533, also combined with this previous resistance right here where the market broke. Never came back down and retested it, but it could definitely come back down one more time, and then you see market continue to the upside. But that is on the 4-hour chart. So we can also use Fibonacci from 540 to the highest point right now at 562. Market could come back down, and that is also combined with the high at 551. So that is why I'm having different targets on different time frames, because if I see the market breaking this level at the 1-hour chart, okay, it could come back down to the 4-hour time frame, and the higher time frame, the more respected, obviously, because if we're looking at the 15 minutes chart, it's easier for the market. So let's say, for example, that we're taking a Fibonacci right now from the lowest point from 556 on the 15-minute chart to the highest point at 562. You can see that this Fibonacci on the 15-minute chart is not valid. The market broke this level, and right now it looks like we're coming back down to the 1-hour chart. Natalie, one quick question on the fake up pattern. You talked about at support resistance. So what time frame do you consider for that? Also depends on what's if we're having, so for example, if we're taking this one away, you can see that we did have a resistance right here, and even on the 1-hour chart you can see the market having the fake out. So as long as you're catching the fake out as fast as possible, you had another fake out right here, market closed below. Looking at the 1-minute chart, 30 minutes, I'm sorry. I mean, you see fake outs everywhere, but obviously the higher time frame always more important than the lower time frames. Looking at the 4-hour chart on BNB, you have this inverted hammer right here, and this is where the market actually comes back down. So this is a reversal pattern that we're having with this inverted hammer. Sorry, came back down, created a new high. Natalie, do you always pull the trigger on the second leg bounce of the fib? Not always. This is where you have to look at how the candlestick looks on the higher time frame, how it looks on the lower time frame. So you're just trying to understand how these are working together. So not always. That is why you have to see that the market having the exhaustion. How do you say it? Exhaustion, whatever, on English. You have to see the market slows down. But on BNB market could definitely come back down to 548. I talked a lot today. Last question, quick one. No, it's okay. Please ask questions. It's okay. I'm answering them. We're 52 people on here. Looking at Bitcoin again. So for the fake out that we're having, we did have this resistance right here. Market came back down. Definitely came back down. Oh yeah, we had already been talking about that. What's your plan 1, 2, 3 for entry? First of all, we're uptrend, downtrend, or sideways market. First one. Second one, I place the Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point. And then when the market comes to Fibonacci, I'm looking how the candlestick is how the candlestick is around Fibonacci, and after that I'm having other things that I'm looking for, obviously not just those three. I have multiple confirmations, but those are the biggest confirmations that I'm having is what trend, Fibonacci, how is the market moving around the Fibonacci, and then after that I'm starting to break everything down. No, something like that. GRT. Okay, we're looking at this pair and we are having the fake out. Fake out is here. Taking these ones away. They were not accurate. I don't know what that was. Okay, we had two fake outs. We're looking at the weekly and I did take this high right here. Market tried to break that level. Didn't have the power to do that. So first time we had the market coming up to a previous support. Also, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. Going back in time, we can see that this is a support since before. Market came back up and touched that support, created a new resistance. Looking at the higher time frames, we could see market breaking to the downside. So this was a fake out. Market pretended it was supposed to go up, and it did. Market came back down, came back up one more time. We can use this high right here. So guys, sometimes you don't always have to have this resistance here. You have to try to figure out where you can. You just move it with the market. So if I would have seen this happen and I see a huge wick like this, I'm going back in time and say, hey, where are we retesting the market? Because if I'm having it right here, doesn't look good. But if I'm using the high at 20th of August and 21st, you see this is where the market actually reacts to, and then I'm slowly going to the lower time frames. You see the market having a huge bearish candlestick one more time to the downside, and market comes back up, closes below the first leg. Market right now we're just consolidating on the 1-hour chart. Market hasn't done so much. Just move sideways market. If you're taking a Fibonacci on the daily chart, looking like this, was it? From the highest point at 1.0831 to the lowest point right here, 0.9863, around that level. Going down, we're breaking everything down to the lower time frames. Remember guys, we still have this support, resistance, sorry. So we're using that one combined. Market comes back down, comes back up, retest the Fibonacci, comes back down again, creates the second leg, market goes back down. You're having the dojis right here. You had the fake out, market pretended it was supposed to break the Fibonacci, it didn't do that, came back down, gave you the second leg. And guys, if you don't understand this right now, just practice, guys. You're not even, I mean, it took me, I started to use Fibonacci in 2000, at the end of 2019, I think. And in the beginning, I was the same thing as you, like, okay, because I had a mentor that showed me how to use the Fibonacci, and when he showed me, everything looked so easy, but when I started to do it myself, I was like, god damn it, this is so hard. Because it always looks so easy when you're looking at me, it looks so easy, but guys, you don't remember that I've been doing this every single day for the last with the Fibonacci last two years. I was not this good when I started, I can promise you that. Definitely think GRT will come back down to a 0.8960. Did I give you the do you understand what I was talking about? I don't know if I gave you the, okay, so that's what market could come back down to. Let's see, we're taking Fibonacci on the weekly. Maybe it's too far away. Yeah, but it looks kind of good. Could come back down here. You know, we're having the lower high. If it comes back down to this level, you also retest at 0.8219. Market could definitely come back down to that level and retest it. Good evening. Hello Anton Åström. Hur mår du idag? Mår du bra? I want to make a huge Ethereum classic trade. Can you make an analyst, please? Of course, Anna. Of course, darling. Okay, so the market has been moving. So yeah, we've been analyzing Ethereum, and we are at the higher high. So what I would do right now on Ethereum is that I would definitely wait for the market to come back down. Looking at the lower time frames. If we're breaking this low at 4,483, we're breaking it, comes back up and retest it, it could come back down to 4,413, because on the higher time frames, this is the retest of this previous higher high. Oh, oh, sorry. Sorry! Ethereum Classic. ETC. I'm so sorry, Anna. So sorry! Oh. Oh. So Avax Ethereum LRC. Okay, thank you so much, Wesley. I'll go through them. Okay, we're starting over. It looks so choppy. Okay, this is a choppy chart. We have so many wicks right here, but we're starting off with Fib from 41.43 to highest point at 75.11. Market is right now at 51.94, and that is 61%. On the weekly, we did have the fake out because the market came, looks like we were supposed to break Fibonacci. We came back inside of it again. And right now, this is guys what I'm talking about. Market is just moving inside Fibonacci level until it either breaks it to the downside or to the upside. But this is definitely something that could happen. So we're taking a new Fibonacci from 48.73 to the highest point, and that is 54.48. Market could come back down to 50.97. So this you have the fake out, Anna, just like you were talking about on the daily, going down to the lower time frames. Definitely something that could happen. You're also having right now, and if the market, oh well, it's 2 hours left, but it looks like we're having trouble breaking 55.11, and that is the 50% Fibonacci on the weekly or the daily chart, I think. So it looks like we're starting to have a downtrend right now. So this is the pullback, could come back down to 50.91, and after that you see the market continuing to the upside. But if we're not closing, we need to look at the yesterday. So we just might see what happens taking this one away. I can use this previous support, the last lower high at 53.63. If we're not breaking that level, we could break that level, and this is also a more of a confirmation that we are heading back down. If we're breaking this previous higher low, creates a new lower high, lower low, comes back down. And if you want to take it further, you're having the previous lower higher low right here on the 1 hour chart. Same thing. If you see the market coming back and retest, market comes back down. You're having different trends on different time frames. You just have to spot them and see how they're working together. You're just trying to puzzle everything together. I know it's hard. I know it sucks, but if you understand how time frames works with each other, going from the higher time frames to the lower time frames, that doesn't matter if you're a scalper or if you're a day trader or whatever. You're using different time frames and just trying to see how they're working with each other. Now, can you look at BTC2? Coins took a look at. Oh, okay, you took a look at DOT. Have you looked? I can look at DOT. Yeah, of course. Oh, shit. Okay, guys, we're going into to the website again on Bitcoinsensus.com because I want to see if we're having a update on Bitcoinsensus, guys. So still one minute. Okay, so guys, if you don't know, we have a website, Bitcoinsensus.com, and we always have daily updates about cryptocurrency. So if you are not a part of Bitcoinsensus community, this is also if you're a part of Bitcoinsensus community, we always have free updates about cryptocurrencies right here. You have Andy also, the recent video uploads that he does have. So good going into this to this website to see potential targets or how we see the market. Just go inside of it and you can actually just analyzing what they are telling you in these pictures. It's very easy to use this website. Everything is for free. Remember, daily updates every single time, every single day. 6 hours ago, 6 hours ago. This is 1 day ago. I don't think this was 1 minute ago, because last time I showed it, it also said 1 minute ago. But we can see what's Bitcoin doing right now. Bitcoin's currently trading around 63,000 mark and is looking extremely bullish in the short term. BTC is facing resistance around 61,600 for the past few days, but it seems to have broken above considerable level. Right now, Bitcoin is facing some resistance at 63,200 mark. Exactly. So when the market comes to this resistance that we're having, I don't know how it looks right now, but usually when the market comes to this resistance, you see the market coming back down to the new support. Market moves upside down all the time. So guys, go into Bitcoinsensus website if you want to see updates on cryptocurrencies. Okay, we're looking at DOT. Looking at the weekly. We're having huge bearish candlestick, bullish, I'm sorry. We did break this previous high. We can just take it down a little bit on the daily. Can you see how perfect this was? So we're just, yeah. So this is what happened. We are taking the Fibonacci, we're taking the resistance on the daily. If we're going down to the lower time frames, this is actually what happened. You had a retest right here. Going down to the 1 hour chart, you can see that on the 1 hour chart you had the engulfing candle right here. So this for me would be a very good buy opportunity when I saw the market closing with an engulfing candle at this previous resistance. Continuation to the upside. And what happens right now? Take a Fibonacci from 48.20, highest point at 52.75. Market is now just moving sideways. We do have a lower high right here. Come back down, could come back down to Fibonacci at 49.92 and 50.48. Market, if we are breaking Fibonacci, because remember guys, the market doesn't always have to respect the Fibonacci. Fibonacci is just a tool to see if the market comes to that level and respects it. But if it's not doing that, we just have other targets to look at. Remember that, guys. Very important. Comes back down to the previous support where we also have the previous resistance. If we're going back in time, just as I told you, can come back down to 48.26, and then we just might see the market continues up. So the only thing that we're doing when we're trading, not the only thing, but we do really have to find out where the pullback ends. Even if it's on the 15-minute chart, the 1 hour chart, the 4 hour, we need to know where the pullback ends. So when we are trading on a long market, we want to see where the market creates the higher low. When we are trading a short market, we want to find out where the lower high is. You want to sell as high as possible, and you want to sell as high as possible, and you want to buy as low as possible. So on DOT, this is the first target that I see the market can come back down to. The second target is obviously the support one more time. And a quick look at ENG, USDT, of course. Starting off with the daily as always, taking everything away, so we're just starting over. Same thing here, we do have this double bottom. We have the neckline right here. Also the previous higher high. What happens? Market comes back down, touch the higher high, creates a higher low, I'm sorry, continuation to the upside. That's how market structure usually is working. We almost came back down and touched it, didn't do that. But what we can look at right now, we're having the high on the daily at 3.030, it's something like that. Going down to the 4 hour chart, This is what happens, guys. This is what it looks like. We can drag this down a little bit. If we're seeing the market continue back down now, but we do have huge bullish candlestick. So either two things right now can happen. We did have a fake out, so it did look like we were supposed to break this level. Market comes back down. So these two candlesticks right here is the fake out. People are buying at the break, get stopped out, faked out. Hey, good night, Nat. Good night, Mandar. Have a good day or night. Sleep well. So what happens right now, market comes back down. It could just retest this level, and then you see the market coming back down again to the neckline. We can also use the Fibonacci from a 1.769 to the highest point at 3.043, and it's combined with the resistance that I was talking about. So we can take that one away, going down to the lower time frames again. But the market could definitely also, Coin Freaks seems good day, hello, how are you? Market could also now break this level, and then you see the market continues to the upside. But what it looks like right now on the 4-hour chart, you can see right here, we also had the market trying to break it, didn't have the power to do it. So what we can do, we can take this one away, and we're having another resistance right here. Market tries to break it, doesn't have the power to do it. Market comes back down, can come up, retest, continuation to the downside. This is the pullback, guys. This is a pullback. Yes, guys, if you are not, good night, Natalie, thanks a lot. No, thank you, goodbye, good night, Ahmad, have a good day. So if you are not a part of Bitcoinsensus community, Wesley just did put up the link that we're having to our Telegram group, and we're always talking about cryptocurrencies. Me and Andy are talking to you, with you guys at those chats too, but we have so many wonderful people that always talks about cryptocurrencies. Wesley and Mark is one of those that makes you actually laugh, and Devor. We have so many good people on this chat, guys, and you always get help. It's a very fun chat to look at. But if you're interested in cryptocurrencies, obviously you are, because you are looking at this live stream. You can be a part of multiple people that have the same interest as you. So click on the link that we're having. Everything is for free. Go into the community. You'll have daily updates. Me and Andy always give up the videos when we're live, when we're having our daily updates. So yeah, it looks like we can go back down on ENG a bit based on these fake outs. But it's 32 minutes left. It's 32 minutes left of this candle. Remember, guys, when I'm trading, we have to, or I always let the candlestick close. Thank you, Natalie, for what you do. Oh, thank you so much. No problem. I wish I had more time so I could stay behind the computer and really get into it. You know, you take your time. Take your time. Everyone has different lives. Maybe you guys have kids. Maybe you have a full-time job. I mean, do whatever you can do. Prioritize. If it's 2 hours a day, that's good. Off to sleep. AC, good night. Have a good night. It's actually almost 11 in Sweden too. I'm not that tired today. I don't think I actually have yawned either. Yeah, that's what I see on ENG. Going to the higher time frames again, looking at Bitcoin. Thank you, Devor. Thank you. You're amazing too. So during the time we've been talking, you saw the market, and this was also, you had an engulfing candle on the 30 minutes chart right here. So engulfing candle, sell opportunity, or if you want the market to come up and retest 50% of that candlestick. Exactly, that's what you said. Small children, a full-time job. Yeah, well, I mean, no, never stop, never stop. We are coming back down to the Fibonacci. I definitely see the next candle, but this one is closing in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Hi Nat, I come from Telegram. What's name of your channel? It's Natalie Bitcoinsensus. I think that you mentioned it above. What? Hi Nat. XRP next. Oh, okay, yeah, we can look at XRP, of course. Oh, we finally broke it. I was looking at XRP this morning and it looks so ugly. I never wanted to break this. I mean, look at this. I mean, market has been around this level. Oh, guys, this is so perfect. So you saw the market coming back up. You had this small wick right here retesting it, continuation to the upside. So we finally broke the trend line. Looking at the higher time frame, you had this triangle right here. Market finally broke it. Going back in time, you can see market tried to break it a lot of times, never had the power to do it. Looking at the 4-hour chart, every time. So you saw the fake out. You had 2 fake outs right here. Eventually, market actually did break it. So what could happen right now? Good to have Fibonacci to confirm where we can come to at 1.0938. Highest point 1.1370. Market can come back down and retest 1.1109, and that is also the previous high that we did have and the fake outs. Going back in time, now it doesn't look that good, but this is a definitely level where market can come back down to. You want to see the market having the higher low before you do anything. Remember guys, when I'm going on a long market, I'm waiting for the market to create the higher low. Very, very important. So looking at this right now, if we're having the pullback coming back down to 1.1103, what could happen right now is that the market is trying to retest this previous low at 1.1339, comes back up, and then you see market comes back down. Retest. Did you place an order for Lambo, Wesley? So that is something that definitely could happen. But I see XRP coming back down to 1.1105. We just might see that in tomorrow's live streams, guys. Looking at Ethereum, we're going down, taking that one away, how it looks. I placed an order on XRP. That's good, Wesley. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart, look at 2-hour. Okay, so market's just going sideways right now, so it's pretty hard. I would wait for the market to either break the high right here. But guys, also, we're having a previous resistance right here. Oh, yeah. So this is the previous resistance at 4,519. If market 10 minutes left of this candle, we're breaking it. But if we're closing below it and the next candle also closing below it, I could see market coming back down. Because you're having a fake out on the 15-minute chart, but looking at the higher time frames, you do have a lot of wicks out, and you can also drag it down to 45 4,519 again. Can come back down and retest, and you see market continues to the upside. XRP would be the fuel. And if the market is closing, if Ethereum 1 hour candle is closing like this, you're having an engulfing candle also. But when you're having the engulfing candle, usually what the market is doing is that it comes back down and retest 50% of that candle. So we're taking a Fibonacci from 4488. Obviously right now the market is still having the momentum. So, but let's say the market closes like this, 4529. This is the Fibonacci that we can take, and it can come back down and retest 4,504 and 4,509. RNDR USDT. Okay. Okay, so I took a Fibonacci from the lowest point on the weekly chart, and that is 0.4428 to the highest point 1.5919. Good night, Brist. Have a good night. Going back down to the lower time frames, yeah, market has been here before. Markets then after that spike to the upside. If we're taking it from the 4-hour chart, we can take another Fibonacci from 0.9892 to highest point at 1.44,000. Combining that with previous highs right here, can come back down and retest it at 1.1446. Going back in time, this is also a previous support, also a previous resistance. We can look something like that. You can see how the market, every time the market came to this level, it reversed from it. So definitely a strong level for the market to come back down to create the lower high, and then you see market continue to the upside again. Because remember, guys, this is a uptrend that we're having. We're having a pullback, but it's a lot of wicks on this chart. Huge. So yeah, you can also come back down and retest 1.1726. That is something that I also could see. Looking at algo on the daily first of all. Yeah, I would definitely use if we took a Fibonacci since before on the daily, I think it was. Yeah, from the lowest point at 1.5532 to the highest point, where is it? And that is 1.9856. And this is what happens. We're still trying to come back down. So I could use Fibonacci at 1.7695 again. And then you see market continues to the upside. But the weekly, yeah, well, you can also come back down to this previous support at 1.5515. So if it's breaking the Fibonacci level, I'm using the previous resistance as a target to see market comes back up, because we're having huge market. Well, market has been going sideways also. So we're just in a consolidation right now. Market just going in between these levels. So can come back down to the support before it finds the power to break to the upside again. Or the Fibonacci right here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end this live stream. It's getting pretty late here in Sweden too, so I'm going off to bed. But thank you so much, everyone, for being on this live stream together with me. Thank you, Wesley, so much for helping out, and everyone, you're so sweet, and I love doing this together with you. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to have daily updates on cryptocurrencies. If you want to have, please subscribe, have a notification so you'll see when I'm going live. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone, or a good night, depending on where you are in the world. And yes, Wesley, if you wanna see more of how I'm using the Fibonacci, Wesley just did put up the video in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Just go back and listen to it. I've been to see what I was talking about. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Joanne. Good night.